Ever since the first Major League Draft in 1965, teams have made major mistakes that have changed the course of their franchise forever. So what's up guys, my name is Dawson and today we are going to be looking at the 7 worst draft player mistakes from the last 10 years, and let's go ahead and get started. Number 7, Kris Bryant. Going into the 2013 Major League Draft, the Astros had the first overall pick and the Cubs had the second. It was pretty sure that the Astros would take pitcher Appel, and the Cubs were debating on who to take, and then arrived the draft. The Astros, as expected, took Appel, and the Cubs took a third baseman from San Diego by the name of Kris Bryant. Appel is now retired, there will be some more on him later, and Kris Bryant has already won an MVP and led his team to the World Series. If the Astros passed on Appel and took Bryant, they could have had an infield of Alex Bregman, Carlos Correa, Jose Altuve, and Kris Bryant, and they could move probably Gurriel to the DH. Well, maybe it is a good thing that the Astros didn't take Bryant. The Cubs got a ring, Astros got a ring anyways, and the MLB got to avoid a situation where they would have their own version of the Golden State Warriors. Bryant would be higher on the list, but he was drafted number 2 overall, so it isn't that much of a miss unless your name is the Houston Astros. Number 6, Aaron Judge. Back to the 2013 MLB Draft, Aaron Judge was seen as a kid with a lot of power, but his inability to make consistently good contact caused him to drop in the draft. The previous offseason, the Indians signed Nick Swisher, which allowed the Yankees to get another compensation pick in the draft. And with that pick, the Yankees selected outfielder Aaron Judge with the 32nd overall pick. Judge went on to win Rookie of the Year and could very well be a future MVP one day. Now, there are a few different ways we could go with this. The Yankees could have re-signed Nick Swisher and not had that compensation pick. Or teams would have realized the player that Judge would be and he could have gone to the Astros. Isn't that horrifying? The Cubs, or the Rockies, or the Twins, or you get the point. Your team had a chance to draft Aaron Judge and they missed it. So unless you're a Yankee fan, I have something for you. Number 5, Buster Posey. Going into the 2008 MLB Draft, the Rays had the first overall pick and were heavily debating between high school shortstop Tim Beckham and Florida State catcher Buster Posey. And with the first overall pick, the Rays selected Tim Beckham. According to multiple sources, the choice could have gone either way, and the Rays obviously made the wrong choice. But I know what some of you are thinking, but wasn't Posey drafted 5th overall? And you're right. The Pirates, Royals, and the Orioles all passed on Posey, allowing him to fall to the Giants. The Royals were really the only ones with the top 4 pick that turned out well, as they drafted Eric Hosmer. But let's say the Rays did take Posey 1st overall. Beckham would fall to the Royals, and the Giants would take Hosmer. When Posey came up in 2010, he had a huge impact on the Giants roster. So no Posey probably means the Giants World Series run doesn't happen. The Giants won the division on the last day of the season, and without Posey, them having a chance to win the division probably wouldn't be there. On the other hand, the addition of Posey might be enough to get the Rays past the Rangers and all the way to the World Series. If only someone would redo that scenario. Number 4, Nolan Arenado. Probably the second best player to come out of the 2009 MLB Draft, Arenado was selected by the Rockies in the 2nd round with the 59th overall pick. A few teams passed on Arenado since at the time he was committed to a baseball scholarship at ASU, and he wasn't anywhere near the defensive player that he is now. Being a 5-time Gold Glove winner and probably a future MVP, it is clear that a lot of teams missed their chance on Arenado. The Nationals could have had Harper and Arenado in the 3-4 spot, and the Astros could have drafted him as well, which thank goodness that didn't happen. Number 3, Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts is probably one of the best players in Major League Baseball right now, and is currently in the running for the 2018 AL MVP. Mookie could arguably be the number 1 pick on this list because he wasn't selected in the 1st round, the 2nd round, the 3rd round, or the 4th round, Mookie was selected in the 5th round, 172nd overall. How this many teams missed on Mookie really is crazy. Mookie was drafted out of high school, but he was committed to the University of Tennessee. The Red Sox offered Betts a $750,000 contract, and Betts agreed to sign. With this scenario, there are really too many different options because every team had multiple opportunities to draft Mookie, but all of them missed, except for the Red Sox. Number 2, Mark Appel. Now hold on, I know what you're thinking. How is Mark Appel above Mookie Betts? Well, let me explain. You see, Mark Appel was drafted 3 different times. He was first drafted out of high school by the Tigers in a late round, so that one isn't really as important. And then he went to play ball at Stanford. Appel did great at Stanford and was projected to go first overall in the 2012 MLB draft. The Astros, who had the first pick, reportedly offered Appel a $6 million signing bonus, but he said no. So when the draft came, the Astros took Carlos Correa, and Appel fell in the draft because teams were worried that he wasn't going to sign. This was until he was selected 8th overall by the Pittsburgh Pirates. But, not surprisingly, Appel didn't sign with the Pirates because he thought the $3.8 million signing bonus they offered him wasn't enough. So he went to finish his senior year at Stanford, and then in the 2013 MLB draft, the Astros took Appel first overall, and he signed with a $6.35 million signing bonus. And Appel never played a single game in the big leagues. I made a whole video on Appel if you want to check that out for more details. And number 1 is none other than Mike Trout. Is this really a surprise to anybody? Mike Trout is the greatest player of this generation, and 15 years from now, he could be in the running for the greatest of all time. Trout was selected in the 1st round with the 25th pick by the Angels. That pick, by the way, was a compensation pick from the Yankees since they signed Mark Teixeira. Pretty much everyone in the draft missed this one. The Nationals could have taken Trout over Strasburg and then have an outfield of Trout, Harper, and Soto. And the guy the Rangers drafted didn't even sign with them. So, way to go, Rangers. But this is probably one of, if not the biggest draft mistake of all time. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy, be sure to drop a like on the video. And if you're new, subscribe to the channel and turn on bell notifications. Be sure if you think I missed anyone on this list or if you think I ordered it wrong, be sure to let me know why in the comments below. And for those of you who don't already know, I have a podcast, and episode 8 of the podcast just released, and I want to show you guys a clip from it. And Noah, it has been quite the week in sports so far, hasn't it?
It has.
Oh man, so we had LeBron signed with the Lakers last night. We had everything going on with Jameis Winston in the NFL. But most importantly, out of all of those, Reds relief pitcher Michael Lorenzen hit more home runs in the month of June than Bryce Harper.
That's pretty crazy to think about that. And I think he only has came to the plate 7 times. He has 7 plate appearances this season.
Yep, 7 plate appearances and only 5 at-bats. That's pretty sad.
Or 6 at-bats.
So he hit 3 home runs in June, and Bryce Harper only hit 2. And somehow, even with all of that, Bryce
Harper is probably still going to be a starter for the National League's All-Star
He has
team.
1.8 million votes. That's the least of all the other starting outfielders, but he has more than Buster Posey.
Yeah,
which is, I think, is kind of sad. I mean,
yeah.
Okay, if you hit 2 home runs in 1 month, and you're an outfielder,
and you're considered a power hitter,
yeah. Remember when I made is Bryce Harper overrated video, and then everyone was just saying like, oh, Bryce Harper, he's a power hitter, man. Look at all the home runs he's hitting.
2 home runs.
2 home runs in the month of June.
And then you have Michael Lorenzen,
he hit 3, and Michael Lorenzen hit a grand slam. Like, I mean, and he only has 5 at-bats. Now, I know, obviously, pitchers are going to pitch to other pitchers, especially relief pitchers, differently than they would approach Bryce Harper, but
still,
2 home runs, man. I hope you guys enjoyed that clip and the video. If you want to listen to the whole podcast, the link will be in the description. But thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.